It's a playoff game. We can't play this game afraid to make mistakes. We make mistakes, move on to the next one. But we got to play, y'all. We got to go today. This is a playoff game. Let's go. Let's go.
Well, a playoff game is what they are calling this one. And for Jim Harbaugh, who came from Stanford last year, John Lynch, I don't think he expected the team to be where they are right now. He had hopes, but not like this.
Well, what Jim Harbaugh told us, he said our hopes were to get better every day. They've done that consistently. It's led to a 10-2 record, and I think the favorite for the NFL Coach of the Year in Jim Harbaugh.
The Cardinals won the toss and deferred, and they will kick off to Ted Ginn to start the game. And crowd into the game, and Ginn is tackled shy of the 15 by Hamza Abdullah. And here is Alex Smith, and what a season he has had, and very effective, winning his last 4 against Arizona.
Been a neat story with Alex Smith. Jim Harbaugh comes in, there's the lockout, but he expresses faith in him from the start.
Frank Gore, they like to get him going once again. Braylon Edwards returns at wide receiver after missing the game last week.
But it was Michael Crabtree that really took it to the Arizona Cardinals in their last game 3 weeks ago. This offensive line has played well collectively. They're particularly strong in the run blocking game.
Kendall Hunter has replaced Gore. And Hunter goes out to the top of your screen as a wide receiver. Empty backfield on 2nd down and 2. Smith gets time and completes to Kyle Williams. And Kyle Williams, who has emerged big time, picks up 6 and a first down with Clark Hagan's making the tackle. Here is the Cardinals defense. And John, you've been impressed with their improvement. They have been the spark for the surge.
They are. We saw Calais Campbell there. I think he's having an all-pro type season. Darrell Washington, probably the best player on this defense. And Patrick Peterson, I think, came alive as a cornerback last week versus the Dallas Cowboys.
First down on the 49ers, 28. Pass out in the flat, and it's to the fullback, Bruce Miller, and wrestled down by Wilson and Marshall. Not much there.
Really interesting decision by Ken Wisenhunt, Dick, to defer right off the bat. And I think that tells you how much confidence he has in this defense that gets progressively better each and every week.
They won the toss last week and also deferred against the Dallas Cowboys. Frank Gore back in the lineup on 2nd down and 10. And here's Gore. And Gore is stopped close to the 30 by Darrell Washington, picking up about 1.5 yards.
You know, this is exactly what Ray Horton, the defensive coordinator, and Ken Wisenhunt wanted to be in this situation. 3rd and long. They talked about the San Francisco 49ers being so effective on early downs. This is where you want them. You want to make Alex Smith beat you as a passer.
You saw Gore go out, and he doesn't look right. And again, replaced by Kendall Hunter on 3rd down and 8. Vernon Davis going in motion toward the line, and flag is down. And Alberto Riveron, the referee today.
Start, number 68, offense.
And it's against Adam Snyder, the 49ers right guard.
And Ray Horton talked about they're putting more of their package in. This looks a little more like the Pittsburgh Steelers. Guys, kind of a scramble look coming from everywhere. That gets the 49ers to jump. This defense is not only getting better fundamentally, Ray Horton's been able to put more of that Pittsburgh Steelers playbook in at this point in the season.
And a very quiet professional temperament for this defensive unit. 3rd down and 13 after the penalty. Pressure is picked up, and the pass is incomplete off the hands of Michael Crabtree. So the Cardinals hold bringing up 4th down. And the 49ers will have to kick. And Darnell Dockett putting the pressure on Alex Smith.
Really interesting that Michael Crabtree really got after the Arizona Cardinals in Candlestick 3 weeks ago. Right there, double coverage on Crabtree. They're going to know where he is at all times.
Peterson, they're going to know where he is too, with 4 punt returns for touchdown. And Andy Lee, who leads the league in net punting average, gets off a beauty. Peterson backed up to the 15 and inside the 15 and down. Great special teams play by C.J. Spillman. Peterson goes down and the Cardinals will start inside the 15. Kevin Kolb leads the Cardinals, and as John mentioned, very impressive second half. Those were his numbers in the win over Dallas in overtime. Starting from the 13, Beanie Wells, and goes nowhere. And a good play made by Larry Grant, the rest of the offense. And Todd Heap is starting. He has been out 6 of the last 8 games.
Andre Roberts has really emerged opposite of Larry Fitzgerald. That's been a welcome sight. This offensive line has played better. They were a problem early on. They're playing better, giving Kevin Kolb time.
2nd down and 8. Play action, and the pass is caught despite the big pressure. Jeff King making the catch, and Ahmad Brooks coming in untouched at Kevin Kolb, and the Cardinals managed to get 2 yards out of it.
Kevin Kolb, a big part of his success in the second half. They were moving the pocket. Vic Fangio's defense, led by Ahmad Brooks, right on it. They understood coming in. They said he's a mobile quarterback. We got to be aware. They are right off the bat.
And LaRod Stevens-Howling, who was the hero in overtime of last week's game, now going in motion to the left on 3rd and 6. And hit from behind. The ball is free. And the Cardinals recover inside the 10. Lyle Sendline makes the recovery. And they'll rule it an incomplete pass. Oh, Justin Smith with the pressure here.
Watch Justin Smith working on Darrell College. Pure power. That's what he does. He bull rushes people back all the way to the quarterback, goes after the football. Justin Smith having an outstanding year, as is the rest of this defensive line for the San Francisco 49ers.
And they may be checking to see, and a challenge flag thrown by the Cardinals, or by the 49ers on the far side. Harbaugh claiming that this should be a fumble.
And from that look initially, I agree with him. Remember, it's the hand of Kevin Kolb you're looking at. Is it going forward? At the time, it doesn't appear so to me.
I don't think he got his arm back sufficiently.
San Francisco is challenging the ruling on the field of an incomplete.
The ruling on the field is that, is it incomplete pass? The question is there a clean recovery? So we have a challenge early on here within the first 5 minutes of the first quarter, and we'll take a break.
What did they
The ruling on the field is that it was an incomplete pass. Jim Harbaugh challenged it. Mike Pereira out in Los Angeles. What do you see, Mike?
Well, I see a fumble, and I see a clear recovery by the offense. I mean, so San Francisco is clearly not going to get the ball. This is a field position challenge to me, which is interesting because either way, even without the challenge staying with incomplete, the ball would be punted.
The ruling on the field will be reversed to a fumble. The quarterback's arm was not going forward. He got hit while his arm was still back. Arizona recovers the ball at the 8-yard line. The ball will be placed at the 8-yard line. San Francisco will not be charged with a timeout, and it will be 4th down.
Thank you, Mike. And John, you challenge on a field position situation here.
And I think it's an astute challenge because that's how the 49ers play. They play the field position game. You have Ted Ginn back here, an excellent punt returner. This is all about field position and a great challenge. You just won yourself 10 yards.
And the thing is that they won, so they still have more challenges in their pocket. So Zastudil will be kicking from about 8 yards in the end zone, and Ted Ginn Jr. is running up and fields it in Cardinal territory. And Ginn doesn't get much, but it doesn't matter because the 49ers will have ideal field position at the 42. Alex Smith goes back to work for the 49ers when we come back to Arizona. Niners picking up where they left off. 27 drives started in enemy territory, leading the league in that department, and Alex Smith will lead his team from the 43 of Arizona.
And that's a combination of things. First of all, great defense as the 49ers have played all year, and then the takeaways. They lead the league in takeaways. That allows them to be in the opponent's end of the field often.
Frank Gore is the tailback for the 49ers. First down. Smith gets hit but completes to Ted Ginn Jr. and the catch is made at the 37.
When you look at the field position and why it's important, well, right there, when they get it in the opponent's territory, they score touchdowns 35% of the time. It's a big difference. Good challenge by Jim Harbaugh.
And you could say, well, most teams do, but not to that extent of 35%. Second down and 3. Smith has it batted in the air, incomplete. And it was deflected by Darnell Dockett, bringing up third down and short.
It's one thing that this defensive line, Calais Campbell, Darnell Dockett, they do very well. You aren't going to get to the quarterback. Get your hands up, and it is Calais Campbell, the 6'8" defensive end, who gets his hands. We see him blocking everything, blocking passes, blocking field goals. He does it all.
Third down and 3. Kendall Hunter checks back in and gets the pitch. Here is Hunter trying to go outside, and he's hit. And it's Adrian Wilson who came up with help from Richard Marshall. And the Cardinals again prevent the first down, and a loss of 2, bringing up fourth down and 5.
They're going to bring the heat. But watch Sam Acho right there. First of all, he sets the edge. He makes him go east and west. Here comes Adrian Wilson along with
with a fourth down and 5 at the 38. And a timeout is called by Jim Harbaugh. And the kicking team was not out there. So the 49ers called the first time out of the game and will return after this. 5 for 8 on fourth down conversions. Jim Harbaugh very aggressive with the challenge and now going for it. Do you agree with this?
Well, I don't, because here we've been talking about field position all day. Punt the ball, back them up. But 5 for 8, maybe that makes you tend to be aggressive.
Ball is at the 38 of the Cardinals. 49ers need 5 yards. Alex Smith with the pass, and the tackle is made by Peterson, and Kendall Hunter gets 9 yards in the first down, and a broken play that was alertly executed by the Niners.
Well, it's a great play by Alex Smith. You step up in the pocket, you move to the middle, you keep your eyes downfield, find Kendall Hunter, and like I was saying, Dick, I love the aggressiveness by Jim Harbaugh. Great decision.
You endorsed it from the get-go, and I love that. You know, it looked like Alex Smith looked like he wanted to become a runner for a moment before he threw the pass.
But he's done a nice job of that this year, keeping his eyes downfield when he's moving. And good things happen when you do that at the quarterback position.
Frank Gore in the backfield, 1st and 10 at the 29 of Arizona. And here is Gore. Gore is tripped up by Darnell Dockett after picking up 2.
One of the byproducts of doing something like that, Dick, is you give a guy like Alex Smith an incredible amount of confidence. And I think that's what Jim Harbaugh's done better with Alex Smith than anybody. From the start, he said, listen, everybody wants to blame everything on Alex Smith in recent years. It's a lot of people who haven't been playing well. They've all put it together this year.
On both sides of the ball, here is pressure, and Smith goes down. Darrell Washington coming in, and the first sack of the game for the Cardinals. You can see how much this team has improved its defense. A loss of 6.
And here comes Darrell Washington. He's going to loop right behind Calais Campbell. Little cross dog with Paris Lennon and get after the quarterback. This Darrell Washington, if you haven't seen him, folks, this guy's a very impressive player. He's got it all: instinct, speed, quickness. Great tackler, great pass rusher. He's an emerging star in the NFL.
And his numbers show it. 3rd down and 15 from the 34. And again, pressure on Smith. And he's not going to get away this time. And a flag goes down. It was Adrian Wilson who got a hand on the mask or helmet of Smith. Calais Campbell finally brought him down, and a penalty flag is down.
Personal foul, face mask, number 24 on the defense. The 15-yard.
It was Adrian Wilson who got to Smith. A loss of 7, but with the penalty, it'll be a 1st down.
And here comes Adrian Wilson on the delayed blitz. He's going to stick his arm out. It's going to catch the face mask. Personal foul. You talk about field position. That's a big swing right there.
So the 49ers get a break on a huge play. Ken Wisenhunt's Cardinals. The defense has to stay out there, and a 1st down on the 27 of Arizona. Kendall Hunter. And Hunter picks up about a yard. Nick Eason, the nose tackle, and you talk about a Steeler defense with Ray Horton. He came from Pittsburgh and makes the tackle here for a pickup of 1 for Hunter.
Well, this defense, we talk about how much it's improved. You know, to me, it's been the young guys coming in, guys like Sam Acho, Darrell Washington, Patrick Peterson, but then you mix it with the Clark Hagans, who's in his 12th year, with a Nick Eason, familiar with the system in his 9th year, having come from Pittsburgh. That helps bring along these younger players.
Cardinals have yielded just 5 touchdowns in the last 5 games. It'll be 2nd down and 9 from the 26. And here is Hunter again, but the Cardinals are there. He does pick up about 4 yards on the play as Eason making the stop. So the Cardinals, who have won 4 of their last 5, and this is the improvement they've shown defensively.
Yeah, you talked about the touchdowns. This is the big one. It's the most important. Points per game as a defense. That's what you want to do. They've done tremendously well. They're getting off the field on 3rd down. This defense has come along, and it makes sense. Ray Horton brought in a very complex system without the luxury of an offseason. They're learning it, and they're playing at a high level.
49ers are in field goal range, but it's a 3rd down and 7. Smith, and Peterson gets him from behind. Patrick Peterson with the cornerback blitz. And the 49ers now 0 for 3 on 3rd downs, a loss of 4 yards.
Look at Patrick Peterson. They're going to reduce their split, play tight. I promise you, that's a check with me. They're going to line tight, go ahead, blitz them. Patrick Peterson does it. This kid's going to be special. And remember, the Cardinals blocked 2 field goals last time they played against each other 3 weeks ago.
David Akers with a 46-yard field goal attempt. And Akers puts the 49ers up 3-0. But the Cardinals have to feel good about preventing the touchdown on this possession. And Akers, who's been red hot, here is Patrick Peterson. Punt returner, coverage man, and he can get to the QB as well. 3-0 49ers, but John Skelton's been warming up, and he's going to be coming into the game at quarterback as Kevin Cobb was kicked by Ahmad Brooks. And so Skelton, who was the quarterback the last time these teams played, Larod Stevens howling back deep. And we'll down it for the touchback, and the Cardinals will start from the 20-yard line. And here is John Skelton, who is 3-1 as a starting quarterback when Cobb was hurt with the turf toe and the foot injury. But those were his numbers against the 49ers, and that was his one loss. For a report, let's go down to the third member of our team, Jennifer Hale.
Yeah, Dick, Kevin Cobb suffered a blow to the head, and now his return is questionable. Right now, he is inside the Cardinal locker room for further evaluation. Dick?
All right, Jennifer, thank you very much. So not according to script here, as Beanie Wells goes outside and cuts upfield, and Larry Grant comes up to make the play. And let's take a look at how Cobb got hurt, John.
It was on that fumble play we looked at the challenge play, and watch at the very end Ahmad Brooks' knee. He's going to go ahead and right there knee him in the back of the head. Talk about a blow to the head. That's a blow to the head. John Skelton now 3-1. We talked that sounds really good. He was not good last time these guys played. 3 interceptions. That was their downfall. We talked about the confidence Kevin Cobb brings to this team. They're going to have to rally around John Skelton.
2nd down and 7, and here is Skelton's pass. It's caught by Larry Fitzgerald, who is stopped 2 yards shy of the first down by Terrell Brown, picking up 5 yards. Skelton in his 2nd year from Fordham, and this year has 4 touchdowns and 7 interceptions. So you wonder how much the plan does change for Ken Whisenhunt here.
I think it changes quite a bit. Now, we had seen John Skelton play well. We were at Philly earlier this year. He played a very good football game. The next week against the Niners, he didn't look right. He looked scared, and this Niners defense can do that to you.
3rd down and 2. Skelton hanging in the pocket and dropped by Andre Roberts on the short crossing pattern. So Skelton and the Cardinals can't convert on 3rd and short, and will have to kick.
And right here, Andre Roberts going to go with a little shallow cross route. Has some separation. Ball's thrown behind him. John Skelton going to have to get rid of these nerves, start throwing the football accurately, and I would rely more on Beanie Wells in this running football game until you do that, until you settle your young quarterback down.
John, the wind has been knocked out of the sails of this crowd early on here because of the injury. Ted Ginn Jr. with the fair catch at the 31, 41-yard punt by Dave Zastudil. So let's see what the 49ers do, leading 3-0, 3:07 left in the first. Kevin Cobb returned to the field, so we'll monitor that. 1st down for the 49ers on the 33, and the pitch to Gore, and Gore gets running room, has a 1st down, following his blockers beautifully, and gets into Cardinal territory, knocked out of bounds by David Carter after a gain of 18.
The 49ers are more creative in their run game. Mike Iupati's going to pull. But watch the toss. They pull. They get 2 pullers there. He runs behind Delaney Walker. Very creative use of simple plays, basic plays, but you dress it up. Greg Roman, the offensive coordinator, Jim Harbaugh do a wonderful job of it. And Frank Gore just went over 1,000 yards on the season.
Another 1,000-yard season for Gore. And the 49ers will call their 2nd timeout of this first half. And by the way, an injury to Joe Staley, and Alex Boone, number 75, has gone in for him at left tackle. And the 49ers, who lead 3-0 with 2:21 to go in the first. And Jim Harbaugh has come on, and in his first year has changed the team. Started at 10-2 here after a 6-10 year. How about this? -1 turnover ratio last year, +18 now, and the rest.
But when you protect the football in this league and you take it away, good things are going to happen. You see the offensive leaders, they've got some weapons, but the best thing they've done with Alex Smith is they've put good people around him, and they trust him, but they protect the football. Their defense constantly is taking it away. It's a good formula for success. He's got them believing, along with everybody out in San Francisco.
And they want to hold on to that number 2 seed. And a penalty will be upcoming. 5-yard penalty called against the 49ers. Be a delay of the game call. That is the official call for this.
And there's no excuse for that. Coming right off of a timeout, not to get a playoff, that's just a bad communication breakdown. And you talk about field position there. Now you're backed up. You're behind schedule on the chains.
So they don't let him call a back-to-back timeout. So they get called for delay of the game. And now the ball is back in 49er territory at the 48. Kyle Williams in motion to the right. The handoff to Kendall Hunter. And Hunter, fourth-round pick from Oklahoma State, is brought down by another rookie, David Carter, after getting one.
That's what you have to do against these 49ers. They run the ball effectively. They're going to stick with the run. You've got to stop the run. You want to put them in those 3rd and long situations. 2nd and 13 now. The 49ers mindset is let's get back half of it so we can convert on 3rd down.
And it seems that this game thus far, the entire first quarter has been played in one half of the field. The Cardinal half. Play action. Smith gets hit as he unleashes it. And Ted Ginn didn't see the ball come down, lost track of it. Bonnie Holiday came in and hit Smith, and we have a Cardinal injured back around midfield, and it's Paris Lennon, one of the inside linebackers.
You're going to see Alex Smith go with the boot game they do so often. Bonnie Holiday comes in. But Ted Ginn does not locate the football. Otherwise, I think you've got a touchdown. You're going to watch Ted Ginn. He just simply can't find the ball. Well thrown ball by Alex Smith. Ted Ginn never locates it. Missed opportunity for the 49ers.
John, what the concentration for Alex Smith getting hit like that? It wasn't a perfect spiral, but it was right in the neighborhood where Ginn could have made the catch.
Very well thrown football.
So Alex Smith under pressure, and again keeping with this improved Cardinal defense.
And Alex talked about yesterday, hey, we're airing it out a little more. You watched St. Louis last week. It was bombs away. They missed some opportunities. They missed one right there.
Stuart Bradley replaces Paris Lennon. 3rd and 14. Smith on the slant. Completes to Michael Crabtree. And he'll be ridden out of bounds. The Cardinals are showing the same kind of tackling at the point of catch that they did against Dallas last week. A gain of 7, and the Niners will punt.
Yeah, where field position is so important with the Arizona Cardinals. That guy right there, Patrick Peterson, when you punt around the 50-yard line, you effectively take him out of the game. Now, he is a guy who's been known to go to the 1-yard line and return a ball, but Andy Lee right here can hang the ball. It kind of effectively takes Patrick Peterson out of the game as a returner.
Lee will be kicking from the 45, and Peterson standing at his 10. High kick. Question is, will it stay in the field to play it? It does, and the 49ers down it at about the 1. C.J. Spillman and Blake Costanzo, who has been brilliant as a special teams player, keep the ball in the field to play and down it on the 1.
Well, talk about brilliant. C.J. Spillman on the first punt brings down Patrick Peterson one-on-one. Here, he gives the assist to Blake Costanzo. Excellent play by C.J. Spillman, making a strong bid for Special Teams Player of the Week.
Well, that's teamwork.
Yes, it is. This is a tough group to get it when you're backed up. Now, you've got John Skelton in there, your backup quarterback. You got to pound the football out of here. Tough duty against this front 7 for the 49ers.
From the 1. Beanie Wells gets a couple of yards. Under a minute to play in the first quarter. David Akers' field goal, the only scoring thus far.
The interesting thing, you have Kevin Cobb right here. Ken Wisenhunt, Mike Miller, the offensive coordinator. They're an aggressive group. This may be an area where if you did have Kevin Cobb, you think about taking a shot down the field. With John Skelton, I think you're less prone to do that.
And a timeout is called as Anthony Sherman, the fullback, coming toward the line, and
Arizona, this is their first.
A timeout called by Arizona. You said at the very outset, John, that the 49ers don't like the Cardinals, and the same could be said the other way around. Let's go back to their last meeting, and this is what transpired.
It looks like that MMA promo. They got after each other.
Early Doucette hit Deshaun Golson in the helmet, and there were fines of around $60,000 meted out by the league. Early Doucette was penalized for unnecessary roughness. Golson was penalized and, as you saw, was ejected. So now 15 seconds left in the quarter. 2nd down and 8 for John Skelton and the Cardinals. Short drop, and the pass intended for Fitzgerald, covered well by Terrell Brown with 12 seconds left.
Well, when I study this Vic Fangio-led defense, I think of a well-schooled team. Terrell Brown here, look at him sit inside. He knows what Larry Fitzgerald's doing before Larry Fitzgerald does it. This is a well-schooled defense. They're on their keys. Guys like Terrell Brown are the beneficiaries of great coaching by this coaching staff.
And Fitzgerald, John, needs 57 yards for 1,000 for the 5th consecutive year. Aldon Smith, who comes in on pass rushing situations, is in there now. Skelton's pass, and incomplete. And Early Doucette had beaten the defense. He was free at about the 20-yard line. The pass is incomplete.
You talk about Aldon Smith. He affects this throw. You put people around a quarterback, you're going to affect throws. He has no room to step up. He misses Early Doucette. Early Doucette's feet come, but that's not a well-thrown football. And look at the push in his face. That's what this Niners D does so well. They bring pressure from the edge. They bring it right up the gut. Tough for quarterbacks.
Neither team has converted a 3rd down in this quarter, and Dave Zastudil punting from the back of the end zone, and Ted Ginn Jr. Beautiful kick, and Ginn fields it on his 45. Ted Ginn breaks it. Ted Ginn inside the 20, and is tackled around the 5 as the first quarter comes to an end. Rashad Johnson prevents the touchdown, but Ted Ginn with a 52-yard punt return ends the first quarter. 49ers lead 3-0 and threaten. Part of the second quarter, Dick Stockton, John Lynch, Jennifer Hale. Special teams starring for the 49ers, keeping the ball in play. Field position, big-time punt return, and a 1st and goal at the 4. And the pass off the hands of Braylon Edwards, covered by A.J. Jefferson. Ginn with a scintillating return here.
And he says, hey, I know everyone's talking about Patrick Peterson, but I can do this thing too. And you talk about a script that the 49ers are following. They play the field position game. It's plays like that. It's defense. Now they got to get the ball in the end zone. This is the 31st, second to last ranked red zone offense.
Last week, 4 field goals and 4 tries. Handoff is to Frank Gore. You're absolutely right, John. The 49ers, with all the good things that have happened to them this year, the red zone has not been one of the good things.
And when you get to the playoffs, we're talking about the playoffs a lot. When you get there, you're going to have to outscore some people. So this is an area that has to improve. Alex Smith's been excellent in the red zone throughout his career. We saw him go to Braylon Edwards early. I feel like that's been missing because they can double Vernon Davis down here. But got to find a way to get it in the end zone.
3rd down and goal. Smith throws it out of bounds. And 4th down coming up. Frank Gore was the intended receiver, and the Cardinals had him defended well. So once again, the Arizona Cardinal defense stiffens. Rashad Johnson on the coverage. And so a field goal attempt coming up. And you have to think, after that great punt return, John, and the great special teams play earlier on the kick, Cardinals doing well if they can just hold them to 3.
Well, absolutely. That's a win for the Cardinals. You always like points if you're the Niners, but that's a loss. You got to find a way to get it in.
23-yard attempt by Akers, and the kick is good, and the 49ers take a 6-0 lead, less than a minute into the second quarter. As part of their effort to increase awareness for autism and Asperger's, the Cardinals hosted a pregame tailgate party today for a group of approximately 200 people whose ticket purchases help raise funds for the Southwest Autism Research and Resource Center. Mark Dalton has an 8-year-old son who has autism, one of the great media relations people in the league.
Absolutely. Mark Dalton, a wonderful guy, great at what he does, and God bless the Cardinals for doing that.
David Akers kicking off deep and out of the end zone, and the Cardinals will start from the 20. The 49ers have had 2 scoring drives, both for field goals, 15 plays and 14 yards. Unusual.
And what the Cardinals and John Skelton, Dick, what they have to do, they gotta have some sort of an explosive play to swing this field position. They've played the entire game backed up. The Niners have played it in their territory. It's not going to be easy without Kevin Cobb out there.
Kevin Cobb is far away from the center of the sideline, so it doesn't look good for his return. Play action for John Skelton with a lot of time on first down, and the pass caught by Fitzgerald. Brown on the tackle, 17 yards. That's something what you're talking about here.
Absolutely. That helps. It gets you out of being backed up. And really a nice job by Skelton. Fitzgerald wasn't his number 1. He looks right, but then Fitzgerald stays alive, finds a little hole, and if you're John Skelton, always a good decision to go Larry Fitzgerald's way.
Fitzgerald, a guy who works on all special catches, and he has made special catches in his career. 1st and 10 at the 37. Beanie Wells, and Bells has not been able to get on track, picks up nothing on the play. Dante Whitner, who has played well, coming over from the Bills at strong safety, makes the tackle.
When you're talking about the San Francisco 49ers defense, you're talking about the #1 rated rush defense in the NFL. Tough sledding running against this football team. But Ken Wisenhunt said we can't stop doing it. I think you even crank it up more without the services of your starting quarterback.
John, when do we say that they have yet to allow a rushing touchdown?
Let's do it right now.
All right, okay, we will. 2nd down and 10. Skelton flips it to Beanie Wells, tackled at the 40 by Larry Grant. And for a game break, Kurt Menefee out in L.A. Kurt.
The Packers keep coming up with guys. Ryan Taylor, 7th-round pick out of North Carolina, makes his first NFL catch. It's his first NFL touchdown. 14-0. Packers already on top of Oakland at the end of the first quarter. Dick and John, he's the 17th Packer to score a touchdown this year.
And the beat goes on.
It does.
3rd down and 7. Aldon Smith, number 99, in the defensive lineup for San Francisco. Here's pressure on Skelton. Gets away. Skelton gets the first down, loses the ball. And the 49ers appear to have recovered. And the question is, was Skelton ruled down at the 49 of San Francisco?
Well, a really nice play by John Skelton, escaping, getting the first down. But then the Niners do this better than anybody. More takeaways than anybody in this league. We'll have to see if he's down. Aldon Smith strips that ball right out of there.
And Ray McDonald recovers it. Timeout. And the Cardinals, who turned the ball over 5 times 3 weeks ago against the 49ers, turn it over here on the fumble.
And the ball's out clearly. Great hustle play by Aldon Smith. The Niners do that as well as anybody. Hustle on defense.
First down on the 43 at San Francisco. Kendall Hunter. And Hunter will have enough for the first down into Cardinal territory at the 47. Nick Eason finally brings him down.
This gets tough on this Arizona defense. They've been standing up. They've been keeping them to field goals. But when you're playing the entire game on your side of the field, you've got to stay mentally tough as much as physically tough, because these 49ers, it's a good offense. They're going to challenge you, but you see the formula take shape. Turn the ball over, keep the ball in their field. Now they got to score touchdowns.
First down at the 47. Smith dragged down. by Nick Eason. And fortunately for Eason, it wasn't the face mask and the helmet. Good one-arm tackle, and the 4th time that they've gotten to Smith, they lose 8.
And Nick Eason's really playing well right over the center. Going to stay persistent in his rush. Right through the A gap, the center guard gap. Alex Smith, that's one thing that this line have done. They've coming into today, he's been sacked as much as any quarterback, tied with Ben Roethlisberger coming into today.
Already 4 sacks by the Cardinals defense. 2nd down and 18. Delaney Walker at the top of your picture, always a danger, number 46. This pass thrown low, but caught by Kyle Williams at the 45 of Arizona, and a gain of 12. They need about 8 for the first down.
This Kyle Williams has been fun to watch, Dick. When we did him week 1, we broadcast their game against Seattle. He was the 5th wide receiver on the depth chart. Really has emerged as a productive receiver playing at a high level.
Native of Scottsdale here in Arizona from Chaparral High School, and played his college ball at Arizona State. 3rd down and 8. Pressure again. This pass caught by Michael Crabtree, and he'll have a first down to the 35 with Peterson on the coverage. Crabtree, who burned Peterson the first time they played, gets 10 yards here.
Well, and Patrick Peterson was looking forward to this matchup. Patrick Peterson working against Crabtree. Great sell on the outside release underneath Peterson. Michael Crabtree having an outstanding breakout season for the 49ers.
First down on the 35 of the Cardinals. That's the matchup, Crabtree and Peterson. Here's Gore, tackled behind the line of scrimmage by Calais Campbell, and a loss of 3 yards.
Well, Calais Campbell, you watch these guys enough, he's going to make a play. He's working against the pulling guard, Adam Snyder, gets in the backfield. It's what he's been doing so well. Talk about breakout season. This guy's having one. It's coming at the right time. His contract's up. I said it last week. They need to go ahead and lock this guy up because it's getting more expensive by the play.
2nd down and 13. Smith going up on top for Crabtree, and incomplete. Peterson on the coverage. And what a job Peterson did against Des Bryant last week in the win over Dallas.
He did. But Alex Smith, when we sat down with him yesterday, he had all the respect in the world for Patrick Peterson, but he also had a lot of confidence in this matchup. He seemed to indicate that they were going to go right after it, and they sure enough have.
And how about Ray Horton telling us the other day that Patrick Peterson is going to be a phenomenal player. 49ers 1 of 7 on 3rd down conversions. They need 13 here, and the play is blown dead on a false start against San Francisco.
False start, number 76, offense. 5-yard penalty, still 3rd down.
That's the right tackle, Anthony Davis. The left tackle, Joe Staley, was injured, and Alex Boone, number 75, replaced him. On an offensive line that has been the unsung heroes for the 49ers and what they have done with their ball control offense.
This is key for this Cardinals defense. You want to get off the field, but you want to keep them out of field goal position as well.
3rd and 18. And slipping is Smith, and the pass is caught by Kyle Williams. A.J. Jefferson on the play. They'll be short of a first down by 10 yards, but what a makeup on getting 8 here.
Well, we just talked about it. This is about putting yourself in field goal position. Great job by Alex Smith getting up, and an outstanding catch by Kyle Williams. This gives them an opportunity for about a 52-yard field goal, and Akers 6 of 6 on the year from over 50 yards.
It's amazing how you figure those yardages out so fast, John. I'm really amazed. This will be a 50-yard attempt. Akers perfect this year. And that's a fake. And the pass is caught. The question is, did the whistle blow? Jonathan Goodwin on the pass from Andy Lee. but the whistle might have blown, nullifying a big play by the 49ers.
Tell you one thing, Jim Harbaugh came out aggressive today, going for it on 4th down, fake field goals.
The officials are conferring, and the referee around Ken Wisenhunt here.
Prior to the ball being snapped, Arizona threw a challenge flag. They're challenging the previous play, whether it was a catch or not.
Isn't that amazing?
It's a good challenge, particularly after that successful fake.
So they're challenging the catch on the previous play, and they escaped. Well, perhaps. We'll see. Here was the end of the play, and the question was, when did the whistle occur? There was a challenge by the Cardinals on this play.
And here's the challenge, and I think, as I see it, this is a catch. Mike Pereira has confirmed that from LA. Now the issue is, did the challenge come in time as we listen to it?
There's a problem with the equipment of replay. Therefore, there was no replay. Arizona will get their timeout back, and we will replay 4th down.
That is wild. Do they have to run the same play again, John? Trouble with replay, Alberto Riverong. Let's see if we hear it.
I don't know if my ears are tricking me, but it appears that comes far after the play was off. But a good stroke of fortune for the Arizona Cardinals. And what a great challenge for Ken Wisenhunt.
Great. Now Akers will again try from 50 yards out. Wouldn't it be humorous if they fake again and they go for the 1st down? So here's Akers again. And Akers' kick is no good. Off to the right. Mike Pereira in Los Angeles. Mike, first of all, have you ever seen anything like this?
No, and I don't ever want to see it again. First of all, forget about the timing of the whistle. If they ruled on the field that the challenge flag was thrown before the snap, that's all that matters. So they can't go back and listen to the whistle as far as when that occurred. So that part of it's done. Then the second thing is, hey, it is a catch, so they wouldn't have reversed it, but the replay equipment malfunctioned, and by rule, the referee has to stand at the monitor for 2 minutes to see if they can get the system back up, which apparently they could not. So therefore, they stay with this ruling of catch on the field, which is a catch because he had control before the ball hit the ground, and no timeout charge to Arizona.
All right, Mike, thank you very much. And Skelton completes the pass to early Doucette, and he'll go in for the touchdown. It has been a bizarre first half, to say the least. And on the first play, 60-yard TD pass to early Doucette from Skelton.
And watch early Doucette in the slot. Little play action, hold the linebackers, get it right behind the linebackers, strike by John Skelton. Watch Larry Fitzgerald come in there. Watch Larry Fitzgerald. Do you think this guy's just a ball catcher? This guy's a complete football player. Outstanding play, seizing the momentum for the Arizona Cardinals.
So early Doucette, who was fined in the skirmish the last time these teams played, catches the pass, and the extra point by Jay Feely puts the Arizona Cardinals in front 7-6 in what has been a wild game. Unusual things that you haven't seen and may never see again. We'll be back. 49ers just yielded the first touchdown in the last 7 games. Last time was against Detroit in a game that the 49ers won on the road, and John Skelton on the first play, goes 11 seconds after all the confusion, and hitting early Doucette, who catches his 5th touchdown pass of the year. And the kickoff by Feely, and Ted Ginn will run it out 5 yards from the end zone. And a good move by Ginn gets it past the 20-yard line.
There's John Skelton. And what a throw he made. He held him with the play action. And look at right between that window, the 2 linebackers, a strike to early Doucette. Early Doucette does the rest. John Skelton can gain some confidence from that throw. That's about as good as you get.
For Skelton, his 5th touchdown pass of the year, and Larry Fitzgerald, as you pointed out, not only a great receiver, but doing his job downfield as well.
The guy is such a great pro. You know, we probably use the word great too often in this league. That's a truly great player. He's a special player that takes great pride in his work in every facet of it, and that block is just another demonstration of that.
John, coming from you, that has impact. First down at the 22. First down, and the quick to Delaney Walker, short pass, and Walker will give ground and lose yardage. Adrian Wilson, 6-yard loss by this inspired Cardinal defense doing the job.
See Adrian Wilson, Delaney Walker, clearly his man. He goes in motion, little screen, he gets through the trash, gets in the backfield, chases. This is a fast defense. They play with speed, they play with intensity. This defense continues to impress, Dick.
No question, and the question is really, can the Cardinals score enough points? Because their defense looks like they're getting the job done. 2nd down and 16. Here is Gore. And Gore is ridden out of bounds by O'Brien Schofield after picking up 4. Both Gore and Beanie Wells, the 2 principal running backs in this game, have really played through tough injuries.
Absolutely, and O'Brien Schofield, he's a young guy, another young guy on this defense. He's not a starter. Clark Higgins has that role, but he brings even more speed. So they've got a great mix of youth and experience, and it's starting to pay dividends. You got the Niners right where you want them, 3rd and long.
1 of 8 from 3rd down are the 49ers. Here comes the pressure from everywhere. And this pass is caught by Williams. And Williams is going to get enough for the first down. Michael Adams defending, and a gain of 14 yards. The Niners do a good job in protection here.
And watch all this pressure coming right up the gut. They're clearly trying to do that to Alex Smith. He holds the football, tough quarterback, knows he's going to get hit, finds Kyle Williams, big first down. You play the field position game, that gets you away from being backed up.
They needed 12 and they got 14. Williams, who had a 56 yard touchdown catch against the Rams last week. First down at the 35. Kendall Hunter. And Hunter brought down by Sam Acho, who's replaced Joey Porter at outside linebacker, the rookie from Texas. Pick up 5 on first down.
This 49er team, Dick, though, throughout the season, what I've been so impressed with, they don't let momentum swings get to them. They go right back to what they do best. This drive, another demonstration of doing that. They're swinging. They start quieting the crowd that had gotten into the game. Very impressive team. Great resiliency they display.
They have won 5 in a row against the Arizona Cardinals. And by big margins at that. 2nd down and 5. And there's the caught by Crabtree, and Crabtree does not get out of bounds. A first down as Marshall and Lennon, who came back in after suffering a left knee injury. So 15 on that play into Arizona territory.
Crabtree really the last 3 games has come on, and he's playing spectacular football. This was a guy who was the 10th pick in the draft. Acted like a prima donna early in his career. He's not acting like that anymore. He's acting more like Jerry Rice.
And he's become an Alex Smith favorite in the process. First down. Pass caught by Vernon Davis. Vernon Davis inside the 20. And gets close to the 10-yard line. They'll mark it at the 13, actually. as Johnson and Wilson combined, but not before a pickup of 32 big yards.
Well, clearly a breakdown in coverage. It's a zone defense. You don't leave a guy like Vernon Davis that wide open. Otherwise, he'll hurt you. Alex Smith doing a nice job finding his receivers. These shallow crosses, short throws that turn into long gains with the yards after the catch seem to be working for the 49ers.
First catch of the game for Davis. First down on the 13. And an end around to Kyle Williams. Williams inside the 10 is blasted out of bounds by Richard Marshall. And he'll mark it at about the 6. 3:05 left in the first half.
With plays like this, Jim Harbaugh says, hey, it's like an accordion. People want to squeeze us because we do so much inside running. Plays like this have an opportunity to be real successful. When you've got guys like Kyle Williams, when you've got a Ted Ginn, the reverses, the fly sweep that we'll probably see later on, they can be very successful.
So it'll be 2nd down and 3 on the 6-yard line. And again, the 49ers looking for the touchdown. Hasn't been there. It's tipped in the air, and it is incomplete. Sam Acho got a piece of it and very nearly recovered to make the interception.
And Sam Acho, he knows he led a good opportunity. Outstanding play. Gets his hands up. Bubble screen. But go finish the play. He got a chance to do something special. Ball goes right through his hands. This guy's playing really well for this defense, though.
He's very excited out there.
You need that Willie Mays drill that Larry Fitzgerald does.
Maybe we'll see that before this game is over. 3rd down and 3. 49ers have to get to inside the 3-yard line, and here is Alex Smith, and he'll be buried back at the 9-yard line by Bonnie Holiday, a loss of 3 yards. And so David Akers will come on again, and once again, John, the Arizona Cardinal defense prevents the touchdown.
And the red zone struggles continue for this 49ers team. They do so many things so well, but this is going to become an issue, particularly in the playoffs. Believe me, you play against the Saints, you play against the Packers, you better be able to score points. I'm not talking field goals, I'm talking touchdowns.
27-yard attempt for Akers. Trying to give the 49ers the lead. And he does. So the 49ers regain the lead. And a flag is down at the line of scrimmage.
There is no foul for leverage. The field goal is good. Timeout for the 2-minute warning.
Dockett with the leverage situation. No foul. Field goal good. 49ers regain a lead. 2-minute warning. Here is the scoring drive that got the 49ers the field goal to regain the lead. They used a lot of time, a lot of yards, a lot of plays, and got 3 out of it. So you got to credit the 49ers for coming back after the touchdown to score, but they can't dent the end zone, John.
Absolutely. And, you know, like you said, great drive, changing the momentum, but you got to score touchdowns.
Akers kicking off and deep, and the Cardinals will go to the 20. And so let's see what's happening on the Visa halftime report. So let's join Kurt Menefee and his hardworking crew here.
All right, coming up on the Visa halftime report, we'll have scores and highlights from what has already been a crazy Week 14 in the NFL, including Tom Brady having words with his offensive coordinator on the sideline. And Green Bay tries to keep perfect. That's all coming up on the Visa halftime.
All right, Kurt, thank you very much. Cardinals have 2 timeouts remaining and a first down on the 20. Chester Taylor is in the backfield with John Skelton, and it's Taylor who gets the short pass and is stopped at the 22, picking up a couple of yards. Justin Smith, he has been a a starter, has not missed a start in over 10 years in this league.
Yeah, and he's an excellent football player, really is. He plays so hard. I talked to him the other day about this defensive line really not being overly heralded, and he said, I don't care. I like winning football games. I haven't done it a lot in my career. 10-2 is pretty good.
Skelton's pass, and it's high off of DeMarco Sampson's hands. Dante Whitner covering on the play. It's been a wild first half. 9-7 doesn't begin to tell the story of it. It's low scoring, not spectacular except for a 60-yard touchdown pass from Skelton to Early Doucette. But we've had terrific special teams. Great punt return by Ted Ginn Jr. And then we had a malfunction with the replay on a
home field advantage.
Yeah, fake field goal. Yeah. 3rd down and 8. 49ers have only one timeout left. Coming in on Skelton. Tip and picked off. Intercepted by Deshaun Golson. And the 49ers get a break. Second turnover of the game committed by the Cardinals, and it was Andre Roberts who got a hand on it, and Golson returns it 17 yards, and the 49ers are in business again.
This is what they do to you, and it starts with the rush. Watch Ahmad Brooks. He's going to put pressure on from the edge, makes Skelton step up. Great drive on the football by Dante Whitner, and Deshaun Golson tips and overthrows. Most of the interceptions in the National Football League happen on those. That's good team defense by the 49ers.
Boy, they were a +18 in the turnover ratio, leading the league coming in here. Now they have a first down on the 16 of the Cardinals. Smith being chased and gets rid of it and throws it out of bounds. And it was Clark Higgins, another former Steeler, outside linebacker, who put the rush on.
And that's a good throwaway by Alex Smith. You're getting chased, get out of the pocket, get the ball back to the line of scrimmage. Sometimes the best throw is no throw or a throwaway.
So the red zone problems for the 49ers. 0 for 2 today. They've managed a couple of field goals. 2nd down and 10. 1:04 left in the half. Play action. And out of the backfield is Bruce Miller. And Miller is tackled at the 10. Good tackle by A.J. Jefferson. Miller, the rookie from UCF. Taken on the last round of the draft. He picks up 5.
And when you watch this defense, you say good tackle a lot because it's what they do. Ray Horton says it's something we work on. Kind of an epidemic in this league. A lot of bad tackling. Some of it with the new collective bargaining agreement. They can't practice in pads more than 11 times per season. Ray Horton says when we put the pads on, we practice it, we emphasize it all the time. It pays off in the games.
They didn't wrap up the receiver that well in the first time these teams played. 3rd down and 5. And this pass is caught by Ted Ginn and a first down. He did not get out of bounds. And now with 14 seconds left, the 49ers call their 3rd and final timeout. The ball will be placed at the 4.
This will be a 30-second timeout. This is the final timeout of the half.
Alex Smith with the real impressive throw. Ted Ginn, prior to this year, you know, a lot of these stories, Ted Ginn, a lot of guys like him, Dante Whitner, that were really, people thought, never lived up to what they were supposed to be. Talented players. Jim Harbaugh's getting the best out of guys like that, and it's paying dividends.
Okay, John, so how do the 49ers get a touchdown?
Well, I think you run the football well. That opens up the play action to a guy like Vernon Davis.
No timeouts remaining. 14 seconds left in the half. Ball is at the 4. Smith with a fade. And Ginn did not have control and covered well by Jefferson, out of bounds. 10 seconds left now. 2nd and goal.
You know, one of the things Alex Smith has done so well throughout his career is not turn the ball over down here. He's only had 2 interceptions in his entire career inside the red zone. But inside the red zone, there's tight windows, and sometimes you just got to cut it loose. They may be doubling Vernon Davis, but sometimes go ahead, force it. He's earned that trust from you.
Now Ginn is split to the top. And Crabtree coming in motion to the bottom. Second and goal. Looking one way. Smith looking for anyone. And intended for Ted Ginn Jr., who had stepped out of bounds. He would not have been eligible to third down and goal from the 4. And now they're going to bring in David Akers with 4 seconds left. And it's got to be a little frustrating for Jim Harbaugh to see the team get so close so many times.
But the important thing, they keep getting points on the board, and they are leading. But again, it's just something to keep an eye on where they need improvement.
22-yard field goal is good as time runs out, and so the 49ers do what they need to do to have the lead. And that is the end of the first half with the score 49ers 12, Cardinals 7. Let's go to Kurt Menefee in LA for the Visa halftime, which starts now. Cardinals 12-7 as we get set to start the third quarter. Follow your favorite team all season long. Go to itunes.com/NFL. And the Cardinals, who won the toss and deferred, will get the ball first. Stevens Howling back deep. It has been a bizarre game. And Akers kicking again deep, and the Cardinals will take it out at the 20-yard line. 12-7, the 49ers lead. They dominated the numbers. Now what does Arizona need to do? They scored on the one big touchdown play, but what else?
Well, I think right now you got to at least swing this field position. They played the entire game backed up in their side of the field. You got to start playing it out here. And your defense is hanging in there, but Michael hit a great point. 22 minutes of possession for the San Francisco 49ers, only 7 for Arizona. You got to swing that somehow because your defense can only hang in there so long.
And the credit to the 49ers, they did get points when they got into the red zone, if not a touchdown. And there's a play action. Skelton in trouble, stays on his feet and completes to Fitzgerald. The flag is down as Fitzgerald is tackled at the 40, and the flag goes down back inside the 10.
Holding number 87, offense.
Jeff King, the tight end.
First
and if you're
down.
wondering why Skelton is in there, Kevin Cobb suffered an injury the first series of this game here. Ahmad Brooks, watch number 55, with the knee on the helmet of Cobb, who came out of the game, came back on the field, but he has not put on a helmet and has given no indication that he could get back in there. So Skelton 5 for 10 for 87 yards, 1 touchdown and 1 interception, first down and 20, back on the 10-yard line, and a whistle and a foul and a false start against the Cardinals.
Number 86, offense. 5-yard penalty, still for
5-yard penalty. Let's go down to Jennifer Hale.
Well, Dick, Kevin Cobb's return is still officially listed as questionable. But Coach Ken Wisenhunt did tell me he spent much of halftime emphasizing the importance of protecting the football in this second half. No tips, no turnovers, no strips. He knows that is key right now. Dick?
All right, Jennifer, thank you very much. So back-to-back penalties, and now 1st and 25.
We talked about field position. Due to 2 penalties, they've gone backwards, backed up severely.
Now at the 5, Beanie Wells, and Wells has not gotten untracked. Justin Smith is there, a pickup of 2 yards. So last game that teams played 3 weeks ago in a 49er rout, Cardinals turned it over 5 times. They turned it over twice in the first half, and the 49ers were able to get 3 points out of it.
And they've both been John Skelton turnovers. The 1 interception, the 1 strip fumble by Aldon Smith on John Skelton.
Now it's 2nd and 23. Skelton from the goal line, and the pass is incomplete. Hausler, the tight end, and there are a bunch of white shirts around him. So now it'll be 3rd down and forever.
And the formula for this 49ers defense, they get you in a passing situation. They're going to rush you, put pressure around you, then they're going to hit you when you attempt to catch it. Old school football, clean football. I like that kind of football.
I know you do. That's why you were an All-Pro for 9 years. 3rd down and 23. 3-man rush against Skelton. Skelton can't get away and is tackled at the 1 by Aldon Smith. Aldon Smith, who leads the 49ers in sacks with 9.5, and a defensive lineman in college at Missouri and the #1 draft pick.
Aldon Smith came in with 9.5 sacks. Make it 10.5. He works Brandon Keith, but that's a coverage sack. Brandon Keith can only hang on so long, but as a pass rusher, that's what you do. You're relentless, and here's that field position we talked about, Dick.
Here's Astudillo. He's been punting from the end zone, it seems, all day. And here is Ted Ginn from the 48. And Ginn goes down at the 37-yard line by Hamza Abdullah. 46-yard punt from the end zone and a 10-yard return. So Aldon Smith running off, making the impact defensive play. That's not a bad 40 right there.
Different celebration.
What a dramatic, if not dizzying view, John. And right now, the Cardinals getting a dizzying view of great field position for the 49ers. First down at the 37 of Arizona. They're up the middle. Gore, best run of the day. And it may get him 6. Touchdowns, 49ers. Frank Gore, who went over 1,000 earlier in the game, goes 37 for 6 here.
And you see Ted Ginn come in motion. He fakes the fly sweep. That opens up the middle. It looks like the parting of the Red Sea. And Frank Gore, you know how you solve red zone problems? You don't get to the red zone. You come in from out there deep. Frank Gore almost untouched. Darrell Washington has a shot at him. But that's what Jim Harbaugh, I'm sure, talked to. I'm talking touchdown, fellas, and they pay it off right away.
Do they ever? 8 carries, 68 yards for the touchdown. And here is Akers, who until the touchdown had kept the 49ers in the lead with 4 field goals for the 5th time this year. And the 49ers early here in the 3rd quarter have opened up a 19-7 lead over the Cardinals. Great field position. The Arizona 49 so far in this game, and Frank Gore does the rest. 37 yards for the touchdown. Last week he passed Joe the Jet Perry as the franchise all-time leading rusher. He had 5 games in a row with 100 yards and had not gotten to 100 the last 4, and right now he's at 68. As Akers kicks to Larod Stevens howling, but he's kicking out of the end zone. And they'll take it out on the 20.
And Dick, we talk so often in this league, if you have a long run, I promise you your receivers are blocking downfield. Remember Jerry Rice doing it for Roger Craig? Well, there's Michael Crabtree, thought of as being a soft guy in his first couple years in the league. Frank Gore, this is what team is all about. He goes over, he appreciates that. He says, Michael, I can't do that without you. Jim Harbaugh talked about the feeling, the atmosphere on this team. Everyone enjoys each other. You can see it on the field and off the field.
That's why they have already clinched the division, 10-2 on the year. And the handoff is to Stevens Howling. And Howling picks up close to 4 yards. Larry Grant, who's starting in place of Patrick Willis at linebacker, makes the tackle. Willis, by the way, has missed only 2 games in his career. And both of them have been here in Arizona. The other game he missed was week 17 last year.
Larry Grant went in last week and did a fine job replacing him, but he is Patrick Willis. They need him back. They need him healthy to make their run.
Now Roberts and Fitzgerald line up to the right on 2nd and 5. Skelton. And good contact. Roberts cannot hold on, and a flag is down at the line of scrimmage. Andre Roberts was the intended receiver.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, number 54 on the defense. A hit to the knee, automatic first down.
So Alberto Riveron explaining why it was roughing the passer on Larry Grant.
He said a hit to the knee. I don't know about that, because really I think he's hit in the middle of the thigh. If you go below the knee, that's supposed to be a personal foul. And I don't know where you're supposed to hit these guys anymore. You can't hit them high, you can't hit them low. I'm all for protecting quarterbacks, but there's nothing wrong with that play.
That's why you're up here now.
That's right.
You don't have to worry about high or low. First down and 10, play action for Skelton. Skelton gets away from one defender, and this pass appears to be caught, and it is by Jeff King, the tight end, who picks up 6.
Skelton moves out to his left. Really an outstanding catch by Jeff King, making sure his right knee was down and securing that ball all the way through the process of the catch.
Skelton has completed 6 of 12 for 93 yards, 1 TD and 1 pick. Second down and 4 at the 46. Here comes pressure. Picked up Beanie Wells, and Wells once again stymied by this 49er front 7, gets 1 yard as the linebacker Navarro Bowman comes in.
Now, part of the problem when your starting quarterback gets hurt, Dick, is, you know, we talked to Kevin Cobb. Vic Fangio was very aware of it. They were moving Kevin Cobb last week. You're moving the pocket. Your offense has to change to tailor it to the needs of your quarterback. John Skelton is mobile, but he's not a guy you always want to be moving the pocket, so your game plan changes as well. Another challenge of playing with the backup.
And we saw the paltry rushing attempts and yards by Arizona. Third down and 3. Skelton hangs in there, completes the pass to Early Doucette, who has the first down and gets to the 49 of the 49ers. Larry Grant brings him down, but a 4-yard pickup sufficient to move the chains.
This 49ers defense, you see John Skelton working through his progression, works all the way across to Early Doucette, but another good open field tackle. This 49ers defense, much like the Arizona Cardinals defense, they make you earn everything. You may catch a ball, but we're going to tackle you right there.
First down at the 49, and they hand off to Beanie Wells, and very nearly had a miscommunication on the handoff. They managed to get 3. Alden Smith making the tackle, and the word we get from Jen Hale down on the field is that Kevin Cobb, who is questionable, will not be back in the game. So it's all going to be in the hands of Skelton as you look at Wells' numbers thus far.
You can see they're making a concerted effort to try to get the running game going because of that time of possession that was so skewed at halftime.
Second down and 7 on the 46 of San Francisco. Skelton's pass up the middle, caught by Fitzgerald. Touchdown! How did he ever grab that one?
This guy is phenomenal. You look at this catch, you're thinking interception. He grasped it right away from Goldson, and then he finishes the deal with the touchdown. Larry Fitzgerald, one of the great players in this league, showing it once again.
A 46-yard touchdown brings the Cardinals back in the game, but Deshaun Goldson, the 49er free safety, who is defending Fitzgerald on the play, is injured and on the field down at the 23. The reaction of Skelton, and Fitzgerald with his 7th touchdown catch of the year. Goldson is hurt, and Larry Fitzgerald has gone over 1,000 yards for the 5th consecutive year. Larry Fitzgerald with a franchise record 6th 1,000-yard receiving season. He's done it 5 years in a row, and it's 19-13, and Jay Feely for the extra point early still here in this 3rd quarter. Spectacular play by Fitzgerald. The kick is good, and it's now 19-14. None of this is by accident for Larry Fitzgerald.
You look at this catch. Go pluck the football. Take it away from the defender and then finish the deal. But Larry Fitzgerald, this guy's got it all. He is a superstar. But you talk about class. This is after Goldston was down. He goes, make sure he's all right. That's genuine from Larry Fitzgerald. But nothing, I promise you, this doesn't happen by accident. You watch this guy work. This is Russ Grimm. There's Willie Mays making the greatest catch of all time. And this is called the Willie Mays drill. Russ Grimm, the offensive line coach, does this with Larry before each game.
You ought to try it.
Oh, boy. They didn't show me dropping them, though.
You know, we kept the camera on about 15 times, and you finally made the catch.
There's a reason I play DB.
Only kidding. 6 plays, 80 yards for the score. There is Russ Grimm. And that drill, and truly nothing by accident. You don't just pull that out of the sky. You work on it, and it's that Willie Mays catch that we saw from the World Series back in the 50s over the shoulder. Still one of the great catches and plays in baseball history. Jay Feely kicking off to Ted Ginn Jr. running it out from the end zone. Ginn already with an impressive punt return in this game. Takes it out 20. Sam Acho on the tackle.
Well, Dick, you know, we saw Larry Fitzgerald did it. I did it. So here we went in the booth before the game. And it's not that easy, is it?
Right. Yeah. You had a pigeon. You had a pigeon playing the role of Willie Mays, I think.
Oh, boy.
How come I didn't throw it to you? 1st and 10 at the 19. 5-point lead for the 49ers. Handoff is to Gore, gets a couple, and Paris Lennon makes the tackle. Get coverage of every NFL game with NFL Mobile. Call ** NFL now.
I tell you what, this is just a great back and forth game, and this Arizona team's very resilient. They aren't just going to let the Niners take it and run with it. This defense has been outstanding all day. We'll see if they can continue to play at such a high level.
One play they couldn't handle was that 37-yard run up the middle. Now 2nd and 8 for the 49ers. Smith, and thrown off of Braylon Edwards, and I don't think he was expecting the ball.
You know, Braylon Edwards has been out, and he looks like he's out of sync. They gave him one opportunity in the red zone early on today, but there's so much timing involved with playing the wide receiver position. He's not out of a break, doesn't get his head around. Alex Smith says, get your head around, or this will happen.
Edwards has no catches in his return to action. They've gone to him twice, 3rd down and 8. The pressure, and the pass is incomplete. And the Cardinals are doing something to confuse the 49ers. The Sam Acho putting the pressure on that time. And 4th down, and the 49ers will have to kick it away.
I'm really impressed by Ray Horton and his ability as a defensive coordinator. He's done a great job of mixing pressure. That time they bluff pressure, then they pull out, they cover well. This group continues to get better. Going to be an outstanding defense.
Andy Lee will kick, and a chance for good field position, which has been rare for the Cardinals today. Patrick Peterson with the fair catch at the 35 with 8:06 to go. John McCain, Arizonan, rooting on the Cardinals today. And here's the playoff picture of the NFC. Atlanta and Detroit both winning today. Chicago is up 7-0. Giants and Dallas play tonight. Seattle plays Monday night. Said Arizona has a playoff shot. Yes, they do. At 5-7, things could work out where they could get in there. Of course, they practically have to win out.
They got to win today, most importantly. One of the things I learned in my experience in the league, you take care of your business, typically falls in place.
Shuffle pass to LaRod Stevens, howling. 1st down into 49er territory. Ahmad Brooks brings him down, but not before a pickup of 18 on the first play.
This is the old shuffle pass. Rod Stevens-Howling right here. Going to fake the roll to your right. Shovel it underneath to Stevens-Howling. And when you get the ball to this guy in the open field, he can make special things happen, as we evidenced with the game-winning touchdown last week versus the Cowboys.
No question, John. The screen in overtime, 52 yards, wending his way through everybody and winning the game for the Cardinals. First down. Skelton looking, and finally getting the ball to Stevens-Howling. Not easy to bring him down, and he gets 4 yards on the play. For a game break, let's check in again with Kurt Menefee.
Well, if Arizona's going to get back in the playoff picture, they need teams like the Bears to lose. They're not doing that right now. Marion Barber, 9-yard touchdown run against Denver, the only score of the game. They lead at 7-0 right now late in the third. And Dick and John, these two teams have combined for 59 net yards passing. 59 total.
So, Kurt, it's a prolific offensive battle. Look at Tim Tebow's numbers thus far. 3 of 16 for 45 yards and an interception. 2nd and 6. Here is Beanie Wells. And Wells is tackled at the 42. He'll still need about 5 yards for the first down, with 3rd down coming up.
We all know Tebow waits till 4th quarter before he really gets going anyway.
It's too early.
Chicago's a good defense, and they're playing like it today.
And they're playing like it's a game they need badly. And it is. Now, you're right. This is what Tebow's done in the 4th quarter. Pretty big contrast to what we've seen in the earlier graphic. 3rd down and 5. Winding down to 6 minutes to go in the 3rd. Skelton flips it and incomplete. King, who's claiming that Larry Grant interfered with him. And Grant knocks the ball away, bringing up 4th down. And Dave Zastudil will come in to punt for the Cardinals.
You know, one of the things John Skelton will learn, you watch him as this play develops, sometimes just tuck it and run. He's got a first down all day long if he runs, tries to make the throw. We saw Alex Smith do it earlier, but sometimes you just got to understand, I've got daylight in front of me, go get the first down and move the chains.
Ted Ginn back at the 10. Zastudil, good punt inside the 20, and the fair catch at the 9-yard line. So one of the rare times the 49ers won't get the ball just where they want it, around midfield. Back here in Arizona, the 49ers with their worst starting field position of the game. They're on their own 10, leading 19-14.
And if you're Arizona, pin them back here. Give Patrick Peterson a chance for a return.
Play action inside the 5, and the pass tipped away by Adrian Wilson, who had a chance against Michael Crabtree.
This is a nice football play by Adrian Wilson. He's going to be zone dropping into the zone, but locates Crabtree, then locates the football. Would have been a great play had he caught it, but a very nice play by Adrian Wilson.
2nd and 10. Cardinal defense. The graph is upward every game. And the timeout is called. Looked like they were faking a fly sweep there.
I don't think they were faking it. I don't think they snapped it in time. And as a result, Alex Smith had nothing to do but call timeout.
49ers first.
And the fly sweep, it's actually a really neat story. You see Ted Ginn hit it in motion, had a big play. They faked it earlier on the Frank Gore run. Jim Harbaugh, when he was at Stanford, went to a local high school coach, Pete Lavarado from Sacred Heart High School in Atherton, and they put this fly sweep in. And there it is. People compress this defense, like Jim Harbaugh said, like an accordion. So you got to find a way to get to the edge. Things like that work. And who knew a high school coach could help him put in a play that helps him win games?
Hey, high school coaches know a lot about football, as you well know. After the timeout, Kendall Hunter on the carry. And Hunter is stopped at the 12 by David Carter. So it'll be 3rd down now for the 49ers after the 2-yard pickup, with 5.5 to play in this 3rd quarter. 49ers in the playoffs for the first time since 2003 and division champions for the first time since 1997.
And Dick, a critical third down for so many reasons. They have such a weapon in Patrick Peterson. You pin him here, you got a chance for him to return a football.
And the pass caught by Crabtree, but A.J. Jefferson makes the tackle. And the 49ers short of the first down by a couple of yards. And now they'll have to kick. And Peterson will have an opportunity here for good field position for the Cardinals.
Now Andy Lee's done a tremendous job thus far, all season really, but thus far today, limiting Peterson's effectiveness. This guy is a threat every time he's on the field to go the distance. 4 touchdowns already, NFL record in his rookie season for Patrick Peterson.
And Andy Lee punting from inside his 5. And trying for the block was O'Brien Schofield. Great kick sends Peterson back to his own 20. And Peterson is tackled at the 33 for a 12-yard pickup. Well, we are very proud at Fox Sports that one of our colleagues and a great friend for a long time, Tim McCarver, won the Ford C. Frick Award this week, going into the National Baseball Hall of Fame as a broadcaster on July the 22nd. He has been a part of the record 21 World Series telecasts and has been an analyst on the Chief games at Fox since 1996. And currently working with our producer today, Pete Macheska, and he and Joe Buck are the gold standard of baseball broadcasts. Fitzgerald at the 46, going out of bounds. Terrell Brown on the play, and it'll be a first down at the 48, a 15-yard pickup to Fitzgerald.
And Larry Fitzgerald starting to put together a McCarver-esque type game. You talk about the standard. In so many ways, this guy's the standard at the wide receiver position.
Fitzgerald now with 4 catches for 83 yards and a touchdown. First down from the 48, Beanie Wells. And Wells gets into 49er territory, picking up 3.
And you know what the Arizona Cardinals are doing? The longer they hang around, they're telling the San Francisco 49ers, it's not going to be easy. We're going to be here all day long, and it's a great battle of wills right now. 2 teams playing good football, defenses playing at a high level. What's going to be the difference maker in this game?
Division rivals, and no love lost between the 2 of them. 2nd and 7. Fake to Beanie Wells. Skelton going to take off. Gets the first down and slides about the 35. So he did what he didn't do on that last play and picks up 14 yards, first down to the 35.
You know, those Fordham guys, they're always coachable. Keep your eyes downfield. If you've got daylight, go ahead, take it. Good job by John Skelton.
John, remember the 49ers had a 15-minute edge in time of possession. It's now down to about 9.
I think Ken Wisenhunt realized that at halftime, said we got to start moving the chains, give our defense a little bit of a rest.
1st and 10 at the 35 of the 49ers. Skelton going to the air, looking downfield, and off the hands of Larry Fitzgerald, incomplete. Deshaun Goldson, who was hurt on the last possession, but back on the field now, was defending.
You see Andre Roberts right about there, coming on what you call a cross-country route, and possibly that ball is intended for Fitzgerald.
Yes.
I don't know.
Well, they were too close.
I think it wasn't intended for Fitzgerald.
And an injured 49er, or Cardinal, that is Brandon Keith, the right tackle. And Brandon Keith, who did not start the last 2 games because of knee problems and concussion problems, giving way to Jeremy Bridges, and Bridges will replace him.
Thank you.
Look how Arizona has reversed the total yardage story.
And look for Mike Miller, the offensive coordinator, and Ken Wisenhunt to give Jeremy Bridges some help. He struggled. They started him last week. Keith was somewhat banged up. They started him last week, and he really struggled versus the likes of a DeMarcus Ware. So look for some help with Jeremy Bridges on these rushers for the 49ers.
2nd down and 10 for the Cardinals on the 35. Fake to Beanie Wells, and the quick pass is caught by Jeff King. And King nearly drags a defender for the 1st down, just short of it. Ray McDonald held on, and a gain of 8. So it'll be 3rd down and short.
Really good execution. Let the rushers come upfield, screen right behind them, then break some tackles and put yourself in a 3rd and short situation.
So John Skelton coming in after the first series when Kevin Cobb was hit in the head and came out. 3rd down and 2. Skelton gets away. And they're going to call an interception by Terrell Brown as Larry Fitzgerald had an opportunity. And it was off his hands. And Terrell Brown on the interception.
Outstanding job by Skelton getting away from Aldon Smith with the spin. Always trouble throwing the ball across the middle, across your body. A good catch by Terrell Brown. Looks like that's an interception. Keeps his arms under the ball, secures it. And as good as Larry Fitzgerald is, throwing the ball across your body in the NFL, across the field, is a recipe for disaster.
So Brown with the interception. That's the 3rd turnover by the Cardinals. Gives the 49ers a plus 21 on the year. They have the ball on the 19. And the challenge flag has been thrown. And the challenge on the field that there was an interception. And the question would be whether Terrell Brown had possession sufficiently.
Arizona is challenging the ruling on the field that the ball was intercepted.
Look at Terrell Brown. He's got his arms under the ball. First of all, I don't think the ball ever hits the ground. It is a little bit loose, but I never see it hit the ground. This goes back to the old 1999 championship game. My teammate, the Bert Emanuel rule. They actually changed the rule after, did he get his hands underneath? Did he secure the football?
Now Mike Pereira in our studios in Los Angeles and viewing this has informed us that he feels it is an interception.
I got to ask Mike Pereira where he was in 1999. We could have gone to the Super Bowl.
You know
on
what?
That Bert Emanuel rule.
He may tell you. And hopefully the replay equipment will work. Mike.
Hey, John, remember now we actually changed the rule just because of you. I mean, we said that it seemed so illogical that Bert Emanuel actually kept control of the ball, even though the tip of the ball hit the ground. That's when you went from ball hitting the ground to maintaining control. So that big play that cost you a lot actually led to a significant rule change.
Yeah, I appreciate it, but it's after the fact. I had to watch Kurt Warner win a Super Bowl with the greatest show on turf.
You know, Mike, they're never happy, are they?
No, they never. But you got to look at your overall legacy. So you're a part of the history of the game by getting a rule to change.
All right.
Thank you, Mike. That's great. Meanwhile, here's Alberto Riveron, and hopefully the replay equipment was working. Remember earlier in the game, the challenge was thrown and they could not make a determination because the replay equipment was malfunctioning.
The ruling on the field will stand. Arizona will be charged with a timeout, and also they will be charged with a challenge.
So it is ruled an interception, and the Cardinals charged with their first timeout of the second half, and it'll be a 1st down.
You've asked so much of this defense throughout the course of this game. They've been up to the task. Can they do it again?
49ers get the ball back on the 19. Leading by 5. Alex Smith's pass, and that nearly was picked off, and 2 flags go down. Delaney Walker downfield claiming he was interfered with, and it was Adrian Wilson who nearly came down with the ball, and a shoe is missing as well.
We got shoes, we got flags, we got 3 flags, a shoe. That's going to be a personal foul on Rashad Johnson at the end of the play. We'll see what the first flag is.
Looked like hands to the face from the signal from the official to Johnson, who was pleading his case.
There are 2 fouls on the play. The tight end was covered on the offensive side. Personal foul, unnecessary roughness, number 49 on the defense. Therefore, by rule, the 15-yard penalty will be enforced on a previous spot. Automatic first down.
So each team committing a penalty, but the personal foul call will be the one that sticks.
And this is what they want the officials to call. It's a good call by the officials. The 5 and 15 rule means that the 5-yard penalty goes away. The 15-yarder is enforced.
So Rashad Johnson with the hit on Delaney Walker, and the 49ers with the first down now at the 34. They had to adjust the play clock. 1:17 remaining in this third quarter. '49er leaders, Alex Smith, Frank Gore, who had the 37-yard touchdown run. Kendall Hunter. Hunter out to the 39. Darrell Washington brings him down. They get 5 as we approach 1 minute remaining in the third quarter.
And you watch Jim Harbaugh coach teams. If you watched it throughout the course of this season, if you watch Stanford the last couple of years, they don't deviate from their game plan. They're going to stay consistent. They're going to continue to run the football. Watch for the play action shot off the run game coming up.
Second down and 5. And going up top for Crabtree, and the pass incomplete. Covering was Patrick Peterson. So 3rd and 5.
We've talked about it throughout the course of the game. As much as Alex Smith respects Patrick Peterson, he liked this matchup. Crabtree, for the second time, a 49er receiver can't locate the deep ball. Nice job by Patrick Peterson.
He's done a lot better in this matchup. Crabtree with 4 catches for 39 yards, under 10 yards a catch. So now 3rd down and 5. Smith with a fake. And dropping it was Delaney Walker. They would have been short of the first down in any event because the Cardinals were there to defend. And it will only mean a difference in field position here.
Well, Delaney Walker puts the cart before the horse. If he catches that football, turns upfield,
maybe
you may well get a first down. But Patrick Peterson gets another opportunity.
Andy Lee will be kicking, and Peterson goes back to about his 10. With under a half a minute remaining in the third. Here's Peterson at the 18.
Great coverage by the 49ers, and Peterson can't get away as Anthony Dixon makes the play. Well, this February, NASCAR's best will converge at the Daytona International Speedway for NASCAR's biggest race, as defending Sprint Cup Series champion Tony Stewart and rookie Danica Patrick highlight a full field of drivers looking to take home auto racing's ultimate prize. Fox Sports is proud to bring you exclusive coverage of the Great American Race with the 54th running of the Daytona 500, February 26th.
I tell you, Dick, I can't emphasize enough how great of a job this 49ers punt team has done limiting Patrick Peterson's effectiveness as a returner. No one else has been able to do it.
First down, fake the handoff, and here's Fitzgerald on a wide receiver screen, and he gets out to the 27 where Golson and Sopoaga make the tackle. They get 5 yards, and that will be the end of the third quarter with the 49ers leading the Cards 19-14. Fox NFL Sunday continues after these messages and a word from your local Fox station. The 49ers leading the Cardinals 19-14. Dick Stockton along with John Lynch and Jennifer Hale. Cardinals have a second down and 5 on their 27. Play action for Skelton, and the pass caught by Larry Fitzgerald is still on his feet. And finally tackled at the 20-yard line by Dante Whitner. 53 yards, and the Cardinals are in business.
Look at this fake. They set it up. He comes in the backfield. They fake the wham run. You throw the timing throw to Larry Fitzgerald, and you let him do the rest. Carlos Rogers tries to undercut it. The yards after the catch. He's a big, strong dude. Arm tackles will not get him down. Such a great player is Larry Fitzgerald.
Cardinal offense has been strictly the big play today. The 2 touchdown passes. And then this one to Fitzgerald for 53 yards. First down at the 20. Skelton. And he'll slide for a pickup of about 4. Navarro Bowman was in the neighborhood. It'll bring up second down. Skelton hit early Doucette for 60 yards for the first Cardinal touchdown. And then Larry Fitzgerald for 46, who made a sensational catch for the second TD. Fitzgerald with 6 catches and 141 yards. Going over 1,000 for the 6th time. Here's Beanie Wells. And Wells hasn't been able to get loose, but they have to show the run, and that's what the Cardinals doing. But it's Fitzgerald who's been the ace, John.
And he's been all over. Started in pregame, catching the balls. Telling the 49ers they had a big game blocking. Catching the football. The biggest part of the equation, the yards after the catch. Larry Fitzgerald, as usual, a spectacular player.
And we saw him make a big block on the early Doucette touchdown as well. 4th time he's gone over 100 in a game this year. 3rd down and 2. And there's the screen pass to early Doucette. First down. Doucette gets inside the 5 to the 3-yard line. 1st and goal, Cardinals.
Watch Rex Hadnot right here. He's going to block, hold it. Watch the key block. Peels back on Alden Smith. Springs early Doucette for the first down. Very nice designed play by this Arizona offense. We'll see if they can get in.
And you remember that line doesn't have Brandon Keith, who suffered a sprain, right ankle, questionable return. 49ers have not given up a rushing touchdown since week 16 last year. They're going to try to throw this one in. Roberts, touchdown. Andre Roberts.
This is a well-conceived drive, and you're going to finish it off. We talked about they're hard to rush it in on. Go ahead, throw a little screen, let Andre Roberts do the rest. Very nice design by Ken Wisenhunt, offensive coordinator Mike Miller.
Jay Feely with the extra point. And the Cardinals lead it 21-19. But the big play was the pass to Fitzgerald. 53 yards that set it up. And the Cardinals up by 2. Cardinals regain the lead on a 6-play, 78-yard scoring drive. Roberts with his 3rd touchdown catch of the year, but Fitzgerald's 53-yard play was the key one. And the first Cardinal lead since 7-6 in the second quarter. Ted Ginn coming out with it. And out to the 27. You knew that Jim Harbaugh and the 49ers were concerned with that man.
Yes, sir. And there's a look of concern by Jim Harbaugh, down by 2.
What a difference between the first half and the second half offensively for the 49ers. In fact, after Gore's touchdown, they've had 3 possessions, 3 punts, 15 yards. They haven't gotten past the 40. Here's Frank Gore, and he gets tripped up. And a little pushing and shoving going on there. Gore is tackled at the 29 by Darrell Washington.
Staple of Jim Harbaugh's team. They aren't going to get away from what they do best, running the football with Frank Gore, regardless of situation. They won't panic.
Kendall Hunter tackled by Richard Marshall, 2 yards shy of the first down.
And there it is again. They go to their bread and butter. Inside running when the game's on the line. Puts them in a good situation at 3rd and 2.
Time of possession, which the 49ers dominated, now about 6 minutes. They still have the edge there. 3rd down and 2. Alex Smith going downfield, and the closest to it was Adrian Wilson as Vernon Davis, the intended receiver, way overthrown, and it'll be 4th down.
And the Arizona defense right on it. You run the football, you try to go with the play action and steal a shot. But the pressure of Vonnie Holliday and the coverage of Peterson and Adrian Wilson, they were all over it, reading their keys.
Andy Lee will be kicking, and Patrick Peterson, who hasn't been able to get loose, back deep. And that's because the 49ers coverage has been tremendous. Not to mention the great punting. Peterson at the 4. And down he goes again. This time it was C.J. Spillman after the 61-yard punt. But Larry Fitzgerald enters center stage again.
Brad Seeley, the special teams coordinator for the San Francisco 49ers, has got to be thrilled. His unit's doing a great work keeping Patrick Peterson in check as a punt returner. Only 25 return yards.
Here's Beanie Wells. Wells getting about 8 yards. On 1st down, Deshaun Goldson making the stop. John Skelton called in early in relief of the injured Kevin Cobb. This half has completed 11 of 15. 171 in yardage, 2 touchdowns, and 1 interception. Cardinals have turned it over 3 times in the game. The 49ers have not turned it over. It's rare that you have that many turnovers in lead. Question is, can they hang on and win? 2nd down and 2 against a very powerful 49er team. And tackled behind the line of scrimmage is Larod Stevens Howling. Loses 2. Ahmad Brooks, number 55.
You know, at this point, it becomes a battle of wills and skill. And look at Ahmad Brooks. He times it up. The power play going away. Just get in the backfield unblocked and go make a play. Good football by Ahmad Brooks.
3rd and 4. Skelton has the first down to Roberts to the 26.
It's Andre Roberts. They're going to get in the stack, get to the first down yardage, and watch Andre Roberts. You get down. Smart receiver. Get down because you know Larry Grant and those 49ers are coming. But most important thing, you move the change. First down, and there's Patrick Willis urging on his teammates.
Strained hamstring. Left the game in the first quarter last week. First down. Skelton sidearms it to Larry Fitzgerald, and his forward progress will give him about 8 yards. Game break time. Kurt Menefee time.
Final minutes, 10-0, Chicago on top. Tebow time. 7 for 7 on the drive, including a touchdown pass to Demaryius Thomas. And look at this. 2-minute warning, 10-7. Can he do it again, folks? Dick and John will keep you updated.
Unbelievable story, and those are the numbers for Tim Tebow today against the Bears, including 43 rushing yards. Right here, it's 2nd down and 2 at the 33. The handoff is to Beanie Wells, and he won't get there. Stopped a yard short of the first down, bringing up 3rd and 1.
Last week, a play very much like this, game still in balance. Ray McDonald got in the backfield of the St. Louis Rams. This is a tough unit to run against. I wouldn't be surprised to see a play action put the dagger in these 49ers. You've got this. You've got a one-on-one if you're aggressive enough with Larry Fitzgerald.
And a timeout called by the Cardinals.
Timeout.
It'll be their second timeout here in the second half. We'll be back. Alex Smith and the 49er offense hopes they get the ball back soon. It'll be 3rd down and 1 for the Cardinals after calling their first timeout or second timeout of the second half. They're going to try to run it, and they're not going to get it. Although the yellow line, just keep in mind, is unofficial. It does not appear that Beanie Wells got the first down. Larry Grant making the tackle. So it'll be 4th down.
I told you, this is a tough defense to run the football against. They've done it throughout the course of the year. The #1 ranked run defense. Jim Tomsula, the defensive line coach right there, telling his guys, great job getting the ball back for the 49er offense. Remember, Ted Ginn, a big threat as a returner as well.
Ted Ginn today already with a sensational return of 62 yards off a punt by Zastadil. More of the line drive variety, and it bounces, and the Cardinals chase it to no avail as it rolls into the end zone for a touchback. And the 49ers will get the ball on the 20. Well, the NFL on Fox next week. Single header action, the early games at 1 Eastern, 10 Pacific. Packers against the Chiefs. Panthers, Texans, Seahawks, and Bears. Redskins, Giants, and Saints, and Vikings. Everyone there has a stake in the playoffs. The Lions and Raiders with the 4 o'clock kickoff. Coverage begins with the Built Ford Tough Fox NFL Sunday pregame show. Breeze of the Saints, Sean Green of the Jets, and Rob Gronkowski of the Patriots, early game headliners today. First down at the 20. Alex Smith gets it away to Gore. And no gain on the play. And they call it a sack. Darnell Dockett, they called the sack before the pass was gotten off to. Gore.
Alex Smith tries to go with the double move. It's not there. Jim Harbaugh said he's not in the grass. It's a gain for us.
I didn't think he was.
But Al Riveron says he was, so
didn't
that's
look
what
that way.
goes.
Yeah, that's the 5th sack of the game, John, by the Cardinals defense. A loss of 6. Second down and 16. Again flushed out of the pocket. Pass caught by Crabtree, who goes down at the 24. They'll need about 6 yards for the first down here. And a big third down coming up with under 5 minutes to go in the 4th. And those 6 sacks today for the Cardinals is a season's high for them.
That's right. And Alex Smith, he's been sacked a lot, but he could have been sacked 10 times today. He's doing a nice job eluding the pressure. What's Ray Horton, the defensive coordinator for the Cardinals, going to dial up right now? Showing pressure. No one in the middle of the field.
Smith gets hit, and the pass is incomplete. Kyle Williams was the intended receiver. And it looked like Michael Adams made it difficult for Alex Smith. And 4th down coming up, and Andy Lee will kick it away. There's Ray Horton now standing up in his booth.
And there's Michael Adams. He's going to come right here. Adrian Wilson going to get back to the middle of the field. Great disguise, great execution. Ends up in a tipped football. This defense has been very impressive.
Andy Lee will kick, and Patrick Peterson back deep. Another beauty by Andy Lee, and Peterson back at the 16. And that's his best return of the day as Peterson brings it back to the 35 where Larry Grant makes the tackle. An 18-yard punt return off of the 60-yard kick by Lee. Let's update your NFC playoff picture. New Orleans with a victory, and they're trying to chase San Francisco for that important 2nd seed. As John mentioned early, you get a bye and home field in the 2nd week, and that's up for grabs. Atlanta, Detroit all winning. Chicago trying to keep Tebow out in the waning seconds of that game. Beanie Wells, and he'll lose yardage thanks to Paris Harrelson. 3-yard loss. And the clock continues to run. The 49ers have 2 timeouts remaining. The Cardinals 1. Let's check in quickly with Kurt Menefee with a game break.
Denver got the ball back down. 3:56 seconds left. Tebow led him down the field. And Matt Prater, 59-yarder to tie the game. 3 ticks remaining right now. 10-10. Tebow's led him to 10 points in the last 2 possessions. Dick and Joe.
Unbelievable. 2nd and 13. And here's Beanie Wells tripped up by Isaac Sopoaga. And right here, the Cardinals are looking to use the clock and playing conservative.
San Francisco, this will be their 2nd. This is
a timeout called by the 49ers, their 2nd.
These guys don't get enough credit, but watch Sopoaga eludes his guy, throws him to the side, then goes makes the tackle. Outstanding effort. This entire group, Sopoaga, McDonald, Justin Smith, all year long, as good at a play at the defensive line as a unit as any unit in the league.
And Wells with 15 carries and 27 yards, averaging under 2 yards a carry. And now the 49ers and Cardinals each have 1 timeout remaining. It'll be 3rd down and 13.
There's Larry Fitzgerald lined up as a running back.
49ers. And this pass is caught. Chester Taylor, but he'll be shy of the first down. Deshaun Golson makes the tackle 2 yards short of the first down. He gets 11, but it's 4th down. And a timeout is called by the 49ers. That's their 3rd and last timeout. Looking to get the ball back, and decision time knowing that the Niners field goal would give them the lead.
I think as well as your defense has played today, you've got to trust them if you're Ken Whisenhunt right here. You got to punt the football and play a little bit of Jim Harbaugh in the 49ers' own game, pin them back, and see if your defense can stop them once again.
Well, the Cardinal defense has done a great job throughout the game. And it was Gore's 37-yard run, the only touchdown by the 49ers. David Akers has kicked 4, has a new career high of 36 field goals in a season. Came into the game with the 49ers record as Ted Ginn inside the 10. Ted Ginn with a return. And a flag is down back at the 12-yard line, and we'll see if this comes back.
There is no foul on the play for illegal block in the back. First down.
So no penalty, and the 49ers get great field position on a 26-yard punt return by Ted Ginn.
Well, the flag was on the ground. For whatever reason, they called it off. But here we are. Alex Smith with an opportunity to put them in field goal position at least to go win this game.
He's had 4 fourth-quarter comebacks this year. First one was brilliant against the Eagles. Here's Smith's pass, and it's Crabtree with the catch and stopping the clock at 2:47. They got 5 on that play.
Tough predicament for this defense. As good as you've played all year, a field goal beats you, as you said, Dick. So you can't give them, you can't play conservative. You got to stay aggressive. Try to get that ball back.
Akers missed a 50. But he has been brilliant from long distances this year. 2nd down and 5. And the Cardinals getting the sack that they need. Flag is down, however, at the 37-yard line, and it was Higgins and Acho.
Right to the ball being snapped. False start. Number 85 on the offense. 5-yard penalty. Still 2nd down.
So a 5-yard penalty. And about the same. It would have been a 6-yard loss on the sack. And they save a down, though, which is important here. 2nd down and 10, the ball at the 32. Smith caught Crabtree, and he makes the catch at the 41. 4-yard pickup.
Alex Smith, throughout the course of the game, when he's got that one-on-one, Crabtree on Peterson, he's gone after it. Peterson gets the ball out, but then recovers it.
49ers have no timeouts remaining. Third and 1. Pass is batted in the air. Calais Campbell got a hand on it. So that'll bring up 4th and 1, and the 49ers will be going for it here.
Who else? Calais Campbell. This guy has turned into such a force, and this is where his 6'8" comes in handy. You get that hand up, you block the ball, puts the 49ers in a 4th down situation. They're going for it.
Smith being chased by Higgins. Way back inside the 20. Here it is. Dropped by Kendall Hunter, and the Cardinals take over on downs.
What a play. Alex Smith does all he can to keep it alive. Constant pursuit by the Arizona defense, and just out of the reach of Kendall Hunter. 1st down, Arizona Cardinals.
Alex Smith driven back, throws the incompletion, and John Skelton in relief of Kevin Cobb, who went out with an injury, and 49ers out of timeouts. Nothing they can do, can't stop the clock. And this was the injury that sent Cobb out of the game in the first series. And John Skelton, who's close to a 4-1 record as a starting quarterback, passing to Larry Fitzgerald for 46 yards for a touchdown. And then Andre Roberts with the touchdown to put the Cardinals in front 21-19. So the Cardinals will end a 5-game losing streak to the 49ers and win their 5th out of 6 games and go to 6-7 on the year.
And what a gritty, outstanding win for this Arizona Cardinals team. Their defense continues to impress. John Skelton, can't say enough about his readiness as a backup. He came in, answered the call, helped by Larry Fitzgerald, of course.
Meanwhile, the San Francisco 49ers, having clinched the NFC West last week, knew that they had to continue winning because they had to win to secure a number 2 seed. And you talked about it at the top. A week off and then home field advantage. And now with the New Orleans Saints winning today, the Saints and the 49ers will move into a tie with identical records of 10-3. So the remaining schedule for the Saints and the 49ers will look like this. 49ers home with Pittsburgh, at Seattle, and at the Rams. And the Saints are home for the Vikings. Actually, they are at Minnesota. That's a road game. Home with the Falcons and home with the Panthers. And so the Arizona Cardinals in this intense rivalry have come back and defeated the 49ers today 21-19 in a tremendous battle here. And we'll return to Arizona for more post-game coverage right after these messages.